What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Risky Ryan Trades. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be going over some setups that I see coming up for the week of July 8th. Be sure to check out my PayPal video that I just put out, because that, to me, is the number one setup that I could spot going into the week. But I do have a number of other setups that are on my watch list, and they're not quite fully cooked, some of them, but they're very, very close. And if I can get a couple indicators to pop for me, then I will be entering those trades. So before I jump into it, disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Trading is risky. If you lose money based on this information, that's on you. But hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this informs what you are already seeing. All right, let's dive into it. First up is Procore Technologies. There's a lot of things telling me don't, but there's a lot of things telling me do it if certain things happen. So first off, I want to show you this. This GAN angle does appear to be holding. However, the Ichimoku cloud, it got rejected off the Ichimoku cloud. So I am waiting to see what happens right here. And I want you to take a look at some other indicators. So first off, taking a look at the MACD, there was a crossover under the zero. The histogram is now higher than the previous upswing, telling me that this is a stronger uptrend that is starting to form. And I mean, you can see it on the chart as well. Now, these are the things that I'm looking for. Well, first off, notice how this GAN angle held as alongside this Fibonacci level, and now it graduated up and it bounced off of this Fib level. But not only that, there's a bunch of other confluence going on. You have the 200-day moving average, and you have the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. So right now, it is being squeezed between this GAN angle and the cloud and the moving average and the Fib level. Going into the next few days, if I can see candles start to close above these levels, all of this flips to support, and at that point I will be considering a trade. So I will be keeping a close eye on this, as well as all of these trades. And I'll be updating you as I see things if things start to pan out. But I like this. A setup is forming. You wouldn't have been wrong to take a trade right here, because we kind of missed it. If only we saw this a week ago. This GAN angle held, this Fib level held, and this MACD level started to turn. So you could almost front run the trade a little bit, set your stop loss just a little bit below. The risk reward would have been pretty good. And you would have gotten, let's just see, had we caught that, you'd already up 10%. So this has been a 10% move already, which is why I'm a little bit wary. I think what is the most likely thing to happen is we might see a little consolidation right in this range, and then a pop over. So I'll be keeping my eye on Procore. Next up, we have S&P Global. So S&P 500 ran by S&P Global. That's who these guys are. Great company to invest in, but I see a trade up forming. As you can see here, we have a upside down head and shoulders pattern forming, and we got the neckline right here. So it is wanting to break free. Now this one's a little tricky, but what I like about it is that we have runway. I think on this one, 265 is where my eyes are. So let's just pull this up here. So we have this level right here, and it's going to try to break through that. We have already, we could be at the very end, but we're in a very strong uptrend. So my stop loss, if I were to enter right here and try to front run this and see if we could get a success, would be based on the 9 or the 10 EMA. But this thing is setting up. It looks like, like the MACD, it slowed, and now it looks like it's trying to find life again. And you wouldn't be wrong to kind of go into the hourly and trade this on the hourly as this matures. But yeah, right here you can see the MACD, it started to come down and then it confirmed, and now it's moving up again. So what I like about this, if I go to the daily, you can see here, you know, your stop loss is, you got about a 2% stop loss and a 3% take profit from where it's sitting. What I would like to see is a little bit of sideways action to bring this up and get me a little better entry. Because what I predict will happen is you might see, you know, a push up to this 459 and then maybe a little bit of contraction. This will be a wild ride, but it's something to keep your eye on. It does seem to have some room to move, but I give this one like a B- as far as trade setups. It's on my watch list. If I see something I like, you know, I'll pull the trigger, but I'm not rushing to the entry at the moment. Next up is Goldman Sachs. Financials have been running. We have a solid Ichimoku cloud. And we also have a double top forming, but if we can break through it, that's really great news. So let's look at this here real quick. So we got up over the cloud, and the Ichimoku is now at a buy signal. It was actually at a buy signal on the 1st of July. And you can see this 10-day EMA is holding up. It's closing over. And the MACD cooled off without much of a downswing. And it's crossing over now. So if we can see a push over this 471, I'm seeing, let's see here, a price target of probably like $500 is my guess. So let's draw ourselves, let's draw ourselves a $500 price target. We'll call it $499 just so we don't miss it. And stop loss, I wouldn't set it this low. I would probably set it right below the Tenkan-sen, so that would be right about here. We'll call it 454.99. It's like a preliminary. Oh, what the hell? All right, so what I'm looking for on this is probably the break. Once it breaks, I think we're going to have another a pretty good upswing. This thing will, if we break tomorrow, for instance, this MACD will be pretty much confirmed. And we're going to be moving, that's where we're going to be headed, in my opinion. And this $470 mark will become support. So we'll be keeping our eye on this. The risk reward on this ain't too bad. Let's just take a look here. If you were to buy right there, you're looking at 5.8% versus, you know, and you probably said it right here, 2 points. So it's almost a 2-to-1, which is good. So S&P Global, or sorry, Goldman Sachs on the watch list. Let's see here. I've got a couple other ones I wanted to take a look at. Let's just take a look at Zscaler real quick. So Zscaler is on a very strong uptrend. I would consider this me missing it. But it did just cross above the 200-day, which is really bullish. And let's just see what kind of... That's a 6% drop if it were to go under that. However, I think this is probably your support line right here. What was that, 193? Something like that. Z-scaler. Am I going to be chasing Z-scaler at this point? Probably not. I'm looking for better entries than this. Not to say that this, you know, you couldn't ride this as a trend. Like if you went to the 4-hour, you could probably, you know, use the rules of Ichimoku and ride the 4-hour chart, and you would have a 2% stop loss right here. However, the MACD is looking like it's, you know. So we have our eye on Z-scaler. If we see a small pullback, you know, to retest this 193 level or something like that, I might consider a long entry then. But it's just on my watch list for now, but I can kind of consider it missed. Let's take a look at HIMS real quick. HIMS was on my watch list. Okay, so I don't have a GAN set up yet on HIMS. However, there was a big pullback. Let's see if I can set up some sort of GAN here. So this would be bottom, this would be top. How are we looking? Okay. A lot of overhead resistance. I would not be entering a long position here, especially since on the 4-hour we have... Well, here, let's look at the daily real quick. The 4-hour looks a little ugly. And yeah, so does the daily. I would not be entering a long position in HIMS. Let's take a look at AFRM real quick, because that's the same thing to me. Not the same stock, but like I was looking at this earlier, and right now it's like holding this price level, but every indicator is telling me it's probably going to break it. If it were to break it, you could, you know, you do have this GAN level. If it breaks through that and the GAN level, you could almost look for a short position, and the next level of support might be here at about $25. So AFRM, you know, there was all that excitement for Apple Pay, and then, oh, that won't be for years from now. So that it just, and it continues kind of along this downward GAN angle is my prediction until we hit about $25. That's what I see happening next for AFRM. Okay, those are my weekly trade setups. Nothing too juicy in this video. I didn't find anything that like just shouted pound the table buy. There are other, you could chase momentum, you could chase Apple or Tesla. To me, those moves are, I don't want to say that they're done, but to go chasing after it, like the stop loss that you have to set is just a mile away, and I'd rather pursue better risk reward ratios. I do have positions open in Apple and Meta and like these things, and I've caught them. The Mag 7, that's another video topic. The Mag 7 is far and away outperforming this year, beating the Qs, beating the S&P, beating almost everything. So having a concentrated position in the Mag 7 for the rest of the year, I don't think is a very bad idea. So owning those stocks, I don't think is a very bad idea. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to have a longer video where I check in on all the Mag 7 stocks and positions within my portfolio that I hold. So keep your eye out for that video. And thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to my new subscribers. Thank you for hitting the like button and commenting below. If you have a trade setup that you see coming up this next week, leave a comment under this video. I'd love to take a look at it. If there's a stock that you hold that you're kind of like concerned about, or you're not sure if it's going up or if it's going down or what the deal is, I'd be happy to take a look at it as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one.